Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel. It's your host London Lamborghini, and in today's video we have a fantastic TikTok compilation from some lovely black women on TikTok speaking about their corporate work experiences with microaggressions and negative coworker interactions. Now, me personally, I do not have too much experience in the corporate world. However, out of the jobs that I have been able to hold, I did not experience any racism due to the simple fact that they were all white minority environments. And yes, this was in the US in the South. So I've been very fortunate and very lucky to have those experiences. Now, me personally, I do not want to turn this channel into a pity party where we just rehash old wounds that racism has brought about. However, I do think that if you want to combat racism in your own life, it's better to be aware of the monster so you can recognize the monster, so you can actively oppose and fight against the monster in your own life. So no, we are not just boo-hooing and wah-wahing about racism in the workplace. However, if you are aware of the subtleties and intricacies with which it can present itself, then you will be better prepared to defend yourself against it. So let's get into this video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Why is it that black women aren't allowed to be introverted at work? Why is there this unspoken expectation for us to be chipper and excited or funny or entertaining? Otherwise, we don't like our job, or we don't like our coworkers, or we're not fitting into the culture. I'm in this corporate baddies connect group chat where black women of all industries just like share their experiences, and that's what we've been talking about lately. It's just like performance reviews are coming around, and a lot of people are getting docked or getting reprimanded for being unengaged is what they call it. And it's like, that's not fair. Like, that is not a fair expectation for us. Why is it that black women aren't allowed to be introverted at work? Why is there this unspoken expectation for us to be chipper and excited?
Dr. Martin here. What you're feeling is the impact of learned oversimplifications that dehumanize black people and justify our mistreatment. Now, there are a number of stereotypes, but they follow some theme of being aggressive or hostile or lazy or athletic or the entertainer. And anything other than that will be treated with hostility. How dare you not conform to the caricature that they have of you in their mind? You should be grateful to be here. Why wouldn't you be excited and engaging in a space that likely overtly and or covertly oppresses you, your identity, and your culture? This is so common, in fact, that the Harvard Business Review conducted 2 experiments investigating the impact of the angry black woman stereotype. Basically, they studied men and women, black and European American, and watched their reactions to scenarios. And even when compared to European American men and women and black men, people reacted way more negatively to black women expressing their anger, which led to lower performance rating and leadership evaluations. Your personality is what they said it should be. Your job will suffer if you do not tap dance for them and like it. And this is relevant because this is exactly what is happening. Everything is being perceived as angry or hostile or aggressive because at the end of the day, your skin is what is feared. And this is why I believe that entrepreneurship is so common in black communities, not solely because everyone wants to work 50,000 hours a day. It's because they're sick of trying to conform an environment that doesn't want them there in the first place.
You said it with a tone. I'm like, how was that tone? It's like, it's a little bit aggressive. What's it aggressive?
Black women, do me a favor, tap in, because I'm sure a lot of us can relate to this. And there's a name for it. It's called tone policing, which is essentially a tactic rooted in racism designed to silence us. And when it comes to black women, I would say we disproportionately experience this. And we know that because of the intersectionality of oppression and discrimination, this ultimately impacts black women because that sends us the message that we don't have the agency over our emotions to be able to express ourselves as anyone else would. But also, we know that desirability plays a significant role in the degree to which a black woman experiences tone policing. But y'all not ready for that conversation. How about being tone policed even when silent? My silence also is an attitude. Bruh, I cannot even tell y'all how many times I got this from so many supervisors, especially while I was in grad school. Like, oh, Shonda, you're too quiet. You're not engaging with the other students. You're not talkative enough. Like, what do y'all want me to do? Freestyle? I'm not about to sit here and talk when I have nothing to say. But then I was reading an article about this and it made so much sense. It's called Black Women Aren't Allowed to Be Introverted. I need y'all to look this up. The author's name is Sequoia Holmes, but listen to this one part. She said, as a self-identified introverted Black woman navigating mostly white spaces, I often find that my peers and coworkers have preconceived assumptions about who I am based on Black womanhood. When I fail to live up to the funny, entertaining, sassy Black woman stereotype, they're quick to assume my failure to entertain is because I don't like them. When I tell y'all everything literally can be traced back to racism. I'm so sick of my silence being perceived as aggressive. There are so many stereotypes of Black women, including the mammy, the Jezebel, the sapphire, and the angry Black woman. I just want y'all to know that you are not alone. And there's bodies of research that talks about how Black women, especially in the workplace, are often perceived as angry or aggressive, therefore they are treated that way. It's the result of the intersectionality of oppression. In fact, this stereotype has led many Black women to feel as though they have to shift identities in the workplace, and there's been even more research highlighting that and how it can impact our psyche and even cause things such as rejection trauma and the freeze effect. Listen, I did not know that so many of you were going to be able to relate to the last post that I made about Black women not being able to be introverted, especially at work. So it's not just in your head, sis. This is actually something that's happened. So we're going to continue to disrupt and dismantle these stereotypes, period.
Black women on all-white teams are likely to receive low performance reviews. This research comes out of MIT, Harvard, and Boston University, and what's fascinating is they said, of all demographic groups, it is Black women's retention and promotional rates that are most negatively impacted by being on an all-white or majority-white team. Now, the research says that Black women on majority-white teams have less billable hours, are given way more training hours, and are much more likely to have low performance reviews. The research also says Black employees, but particularly Black women, reported numerous ways in which interacting with the majority white coworkers negatively influenced their participation and identified challenges relating to task assignment and performance evaluations. Now, something that I talk about all the time on my page is that competency is a system of oppression. And in the workplace, who we assign competency to is often based on our own biases. And it is Black women who are chronically seen as lacking competency, even when they demonstrate all of the skills. Further, as I highlighted in a recent video, task assignment within workplaces is deeply gendered and racialized. It is often Black women who are getting office work tasks, who are not getting tasks that will help advance their career, while it is dominant group employees who are given glamour tasks, tasks that help them ascend throughout their career. Research is deeply fascinating, and one of the reasons I focus on Black women so much in my DEI work is because I see no other marginalized group impacted quite the same as Black women are in the work environment. And this is because of misogynoir, the particular intersection of race and gender oppression. And this, of course, is worse for Black LGBTQ women, Black women with disabilities. And so in addressing the many ways that Black women are excluded in the work environment, in addressing the many ways that Black women face structural and systemic oppression in the work environment, we can actually alleviate a lot of the oppression that other groups experience as well. Liberation is interconnected. And when we really take a look at all the structural issues that are impacting Black women within the workforce, we can make really beautiful strides in DEI as a whole. And thank you so much for watching. My name is Ciara. I'm a DEI consultant and a theologian. So follow me for more content like this.
One thing you should never do is underestimate a Black girl with receipts. To be a Black girl in corporate America, you know the number one rule is to always cover your ass. So I've got receipts and the tea is hot. I'm only going to sprinkle a little bit because I've been made aware that there's someone watching my page. So welcome. I started working with a particular company. The interview process was 1000% remote. And when I say remote, phone calls, not video chats. So I was hired sight unseen by a company to work for them. After a couple of weeks of home computer-based training, they brought all of the new hires on site to complete the training process. My boss was responsible for making travel plans for myself and I believe 2 or 3 other new hires. He set everything up. I had nothing to do with the arrangements, not the flights, not the rental car, not the hotel, nothing. I got an email from him telling me that I needed to take this particular flight and that I would be sharing a rental car with one of my counterparts. I had no problem with that because I don't like to drive, especially in cities where I don't know where I'm going, and it was snowing. I live in Florida. Anyways, we go straight from the airport to the corporate location. After being hired sight unseen, when I walked in and one particular manager put a name to a face to a resume with a new hire, her jaw dropped. I could literally see on her face that she was shocked. Who is this black queen walking in here? And we worked a full and complete workday. At the end of the day, one of the managers comes in and says that we're going to do things differently for the rest of the week, and we would be splitting off and going to different sites to meet clients and engage with different aspects of the business. I don't have my own rental car, so unless myself and the counterpart that were renting the car were going to be together, there's no way I didn't have any transportation. She was like, oh no, that person is going to stay here in the office, but we want you to go out and meet with the clients. I said, but my name is not on the rental car. I don't know how this is going to work. She was pretty annoyed that I was bringing that up and pretty much suggested that I'm making a big deal out of nothing, that there shouldn't be a problem with me driving this rental car that's not in my name. But nonetheless, she was just basically like, well, figure it out. I don't know what to tell you. You need to be at such and such location by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. At the end of the day, I tried my best to figure it out. I contacted the rental car company. I tried to get the agreement amended. There was nothing that I could do. The only solution would have been to get my counterpart to drive back out to the airport, which was 45 minutes away, and turn back in that rental car and rent a new one. And she wasn't willing to do that. Uber was just starting out. I don't even think Lyft existed as a competitor yet, but Uber was only in the main cities and main markets. Even if it had existed, I don't know if I would have felt comfortable because I typically don't like to Uber by myself. I sent her an email that night, let her know all the steps that I had taken to try to rectify the situation, and that I would await for her to let me know what was next. The next morning, she sends me an email and says, you know what, just come in. I go in there and I have a seat, and you know what this lady tells me? She starts it off by saying, you know, I don't like to sugarcoat things. I don't believe in all that politically correct stuff. So I'm just going to come right out and say it. There's something about you that's maybe not the best fit. I don't know if it's like you're not a team player or what the situation is, but that's the vibes I'm getting from you. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. On the inside, I was falling apart. On the outside, I think I was a stoic, stone-faced, queen. Mind you, this woman who said that to me was not even my boss. I call my boss immediately and I'm like, what is going on? Why am I being told I'm not a team player? At this point, to say that I've done nothing wrong would be an epic understatement. I've actually done the opposite. I don't understand why I'm getting this feedback. My boss pretended like he was shocked, although I would go on to learn that this is a pattern with this individual. I'm not the only person she's gotten out of pocket with or talked reckless to. He acted like he was shocked, pretty much told me to disregard what she said, that this was all his fault and not to worry about it. Just go back in and carry on as if nothing had happened. No repair was ever performed between this individual and myself. There was no acknowledgement of the disrespect or the damage to our relationship that caused. Nothing. I just had to eat it.
Thank you so much for everyone who watched till the end of the video. And if you haven't done so yet, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But also, let me know your thoughts in the comments. How long have you been working in the corporate world? Do you come from a family of corporate professionals, or are you one of the first to enter the industry in your family? And let me know about your personal experiences as well. Have you experienced microaggressions? Has your experience been relatively moderate and favorable for you and easy to do? Let me know how you feel in the comments. And until next video, subscribe. It's free $99, and we'll see you in the next one.